Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Caprill. You like this one? It's got a little quirky thing on the bottom of that. Someone gave me this mug. It's kind of nice. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about the things that you can do when it gets towards the end of the year that maybe will help you financially or they will lower your taxes. All right. I get these questions a lot, so I just want to give you some thoughts. Sometimes they're good ideas, sometimes it depends on your situation. Let's think of the first one is, taxes did not change this year. And probably until there's a new congressional election, they probably won't change much next year. But then probably next year will be the last year of the current code. At least I think that's going to be the case. And I really don't care who wins. I just think that unless there's a dramatic reduction in spending, their revenues have to go up in the short run. So, one of the things you should consider, and I say this a lot, is if you have money sitting in a traditional IRA, 401k, et cetera, you should at least consider converting some of it to a Roth. Now, it's not as simple as it often sounds. You have to pay the tax now, and depending on how old you are, that conversion could trigger an increase in your Medicare premiums. It could also trigger taxation of your Social Security benefits. So do your math carefully. Number two, we are in an inflationary period. So chances are things that you buy now could be actually more expensive in the future. So if you are in a position where you're going to be buying something next year, you may want to buy it this year. I know that sounds silly logic, but you'd be amazed how often people ignore that. They just, I don't need it yet. Well, the problem with that is it may cost more. It may cost less, but if you're going to use it anyway and you're okay with the current prices, take advantage of that fact. All right. Now, that could be a car, that could be a home, or it could be something relatively small. So something small that you could buy in bulk. All right. The other thing, though, is you can also, if there's anything that you pay for regularly on a monthly basis, rent would be a great example. You could always go to, say, your landlord, assuming you have the means to doing this, and offer to prepay the entire year's rent, provided they give you a discount. So I have an apartment in Cincinnati, excuse me, Covington, Kentucky now, and a house in Nashville. And so what I do is I get a discount from my landlord by prepaying the entire year's rent. They love it, and I love it. I save some money. Now, I have to have the money to do it, but that could be a very useful thing that you can work out that way. Another thing is when it comes to charitable giving, if you're going to make charitable gifts, if you have stocks, for example, with low cost basis, meaning you bought them at say $10 and they're worth $50, that may be a better thing to give charity than cash because you can give them that stock at today's value, even though you only paid $10 for it. All right. You don't want to sell it and then give them the cash because you get taxed. Just give them the whole kit and caboodle. And, give them the stock certificates and they can sell it and they can work it that way as well. All right. But also keep in mind with the changes in the tax code, so many people now are not itemizing their deductions. They're using the standard deduction because it's so high. So make sure that if your motivation for charity is tax reduction, which frankly is never a good motivation for charity, make sure that you're aware whether or not you'll be able to fully deduct it. Because if you can't, well, I still hope you give to charity, assuming it's within your budget. But if you're only going to do it for tax reasons, the advantages may not be there. You need to make sure that they are before you do it. Okay, so just a few little ideas there. There's going to be a lot of articles out there, 10 things you should be doing. They always have an upside and a downside to them. I think I've shared those to you. But when it comes to charity, though, the best thing you can do is look at your stuff. I'm amazed how much stuff we all have. And ask yourself, have I used any of this stuff in the last year? If the answer is no, think about giving it away. Chances are there's someone who could use it. So food for thought. Hope that helps. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a good day. Bye bye.